Hello, Dr. Charlie Metcalf here with you. Another quick book review. This is Exactly What to Say, The Magic Words of Influence and Impact by Phil M. Jones. So I was at an airport in Chicago in June and saw this at one of the things, snapped a picture of the outside cover, kind of glanced through it, and then it took me till October to purchase the book. So anyhow, Exactly What to Say, The Magic Words of Influence and Impact. This is a short and sweet book. There are 23 phrases in here to basically help you to sell. I think it's designed for salespeople. You can use it for encouragement or to be able to communicate, to kind of pitch your ideas or your products, and kind of influence people to get what you want there. So there's no table of contents in the book, and I think that's because there'd be a temptation to just kind of snap a picture of those 23 phrases and then move on with your day and look at it. So each chapter, if you can call them that, each kind of set of phrases there, he gives you the phrase, he gives you an explanation of the phrase, and then he usually gives you 3 examples of how to use that phrase in a sentence. So it is a short book. It's super quick read. Maybe it's one of those that you go back and look at every couple months or whatever. There's 131 pages, I think, of material in there, but that page count is super deceptive as far as if you're looking for some deep book, because a lot of the pages are 1-sentence pages or 2-sentence pages. So anyhow, basically you're paying for these 23 phrases and the value they'll bring to you when you're trying to convince somebody of something or to sell a product, whatever. Could have been maybe just a long blog post, but whatever. So here we go. I'm going to try to walk through all 23 of these with you. We'll see if that works. If not, maybe I'll reshoot the video and just do like the top 5. So number 1, I'm not sure if it's for you, but and here, kind of takes that phrase and brings about curiosity in the other person that you're talking to. I'm not sure if it's for you. Like, well, maybe it's for me. What is it? And then also, it's really low pressure kind of sales pitch. Number 2, using the phrase open-minded. Everyone wants to be open-minded. Would you be open-minded to doing this on Thursday instead of Tuesday? Number 3, what do you know? He uses this one as kind of a defensive technique. So someone's negative about your product or idea, and like, well, what do you know about? And then you give that, and they either confess to knowing a bunch. Actually, I'm an expert in it and spent my entire life doing it. Or they're like, honestly, I really don't know much about long-term health insurance or whatever. So number 4, how would you feel if? And then you could throw out positive things there, which I would encourage. He also lists examples of negative. How would you feel if your boss knew that you passed up on this? Number 5, just imagine. Again, positive, negatives, that you can swing that either way. Number 6, when would be a good time? When would be a good time? So when you use this phrase, you're assuming that the person has time in the day to be able to review that with you. And then there's a kind of a bonus phrase in here as far as when you get it done with a sales pitch product, or they test it out or they read about it, like, well, what'd you like about it? So instead of just saying what were your thoughts about it or waiting for feedback, you're setting their mindset towards the positive. Well, what would you like about that product? What would you like about it when you read it? And so they'll be happy to kind of name off positive things that they liked about it. Number 7 is the one that I didn't agree with in the book. So he says, I'm guessing you haven't got around to. I'm guessing you haven't got around to scheduling that meeting. I guess you haven't gotten around to reviewing those documents. And so for me, it kind of puts the worst aspect in thinking of the other person. To me, I'd rather go with the positive. But here he says that people will be quick to respond, oh yes, in fact, I have gotten around to it, that they want to prove themselves worthy, or they'll confess that they haven't and want to change their behavior. Number 8, simple swaps. This is one of my favorite quote-unquote chapters, principles, word sets, whatever you want to call them. And here he talks about the simple swap. So what questions do you have for me? So you get done with the presentation. Do you have any questions for me? Well, it's kind of awkward. Should I have questions? What questions should I have? Versus what questions do you have for me? So it's natural for you to have questions. What questions do you have for me? I'd love to answer them for you. So I like that one. I've used it twice already after reading the book 2 days ago. So I'm excited about that one. That one's kind of one of my main applications for the book. What questions do you have for me? Another swap, what is the best number to contact you at? So instead of, can I have your contact number, or can I have your cell phone number, what's the best number for me to contact you at? So you're assuming you're kind of already getting permission that they're going to give you the number, but which is the best one? Number 9, you have 3 options. And here you list the 3 options. Of course, you're stacking the deck with 2 terrible options and 1 great one. Number 10, there are 2 types of people in this world. People that watch YouTube videos, people that don't. So anyhow, whatever the thing is, you have 2 types of people. There are people who are driven to succeed in life, and there are people that want to sit home and watch Netflix in their pajamas all day. Which one are you? And so once again, you're stacking the deck, but here you're doing it with 2 types of people and kind of being interested, about that. And so my favorite one is there's 2 types of people in the world. There's people who like to get up early in the morning, and those people who hate people who like to get up early in the morning. Number 11, I'm one of the morning people, by the way. I bet you're a bit like me, that you like to get up early in the morning and tackle your day. I bet you're a bit like me, you like X, Y, and Z. And so you're building rapport with them, you're showing common ground. I bet you're a bit like me, you like to watch educational YouTube videos. Number 12, if then. So he says you get this all the time as a kid. You can pitch it this way to an adult. If you do this, then you'll see great results, whatever, if then. Number 13, don't worry. Don't worry. And so, things can be stressful. Take a deep breath. Don't worry. Give that as a phrase to somebody. Number 14, most people like this product. Most people want to buy this. Most people go through and fill out the form because that's the basic next step. Most people. 15, the good news is, and you can spin this anyway because there's always good news about anything. So the good news is, number 16, what happens next? What happens next is you fill out this paperwork. I'll give it to my secretary. They'll put your information in the system and it'll come right to your doorstep. What happens next is you sign this contract and we get you all settled. Going number 17, what makes you say that? So here you run into all sorts of excuses. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. Whatever the reason is that they're not buying the idea or the product from you. What makes you say that? And I like this because it is you're seeking knowledge, because maybe their holdup on their end is something that really has nothing to do with your service or product. So what makes you say that? So you're seeking understanding so you can address the problem, or you're like, you know what, we're not going to be able to do that. So you're right in saying no to this. Number 18, before you make up your mind. Before you make up your mind, let me just walk through this one more time so you know exactly what you're rejecting. Before you make up your mind, whatever. Number 19, if I can, will you? If I can, will you? Saw this one at a car dealership. So I was going to purchase a used vehicle, and we're negotiating over the price. And they switched it a little bit, but on the contract, they would have you sign, each round you did this, and we knocked out the financing and knocked out all this other stuff. So we're just arguing over kind of out the door price, arguing, debating, negotiating, whatever. So they would have me sign my name. I, Charlie Metcalf, will purchase this car today if you can get it to me for $20,000 out the door. And so and it was interesting because it's this if I can, will you type thing. And so what it did is it limited the negotiation. So then if they come back and say, hey, I can get it to you for $20,000, I'm like, well, can you do 19? Well, you just promised you do 20,000. And so I thought it was an interesting sales technique. I didn't buy the vehicle from there, but was intrigued by this idea. So it's very similar. If I can, will you? If I can get you this product tomorrow, will you buy it today? Number 20, enough. So here, in terms of quantity, is 8 cases enough for you? So instead of saying how many cases would you like, will 8 cases do? Will 4 cases do? And it has this kind of attitude of abundance to make sure that they're properly equipped, supplied. Is that enough for you? And gives them a number range in their mind that they can either go higher or lower than. What else we got? Number 21. Just one more thing, and then you give them that one more thing. Number 22, a favor. I've seen this a lot where you can ask somebody for a simple favor. Helps build rapport. They feel good about themselves because they're able to help you. It's something small. It's not something major. That's not a huge pain for them. So you ask for a favor. And then number 23, which reminded me of 17, which is what makes you say that. 23 is just out of curiosity. But once again, it's a deeper question, probing question that you're seeking more understanding for what their particular issue is. So anyhow, what exactly to say, the magic words of influence and impact. If you're happy with the 23 super brief summaries that I gave you, don't buy the book. If they sound intriguing to you or you'd like more examples of them, go out, pick up a copy. Hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you again later. Oh, just one more thing I forgot. If you do me a simple favor, go ahead. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Give me a comment in there. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the review and on the book. Thanks.